Yeah, I'm working, but you see what I'm seeing? You got to play with every kind of flying machine. Don't you? You know, ingenuity is hiding within all of us, I believe. One day I needed a catch for this little system that I have here, a tailgate on my work golf cart. Sometimes we use a carabiner, but those can get tore up as they're just aluminum. But I found this really nice wire, or I should say rod. It's past the stage of being wire. Found that, and I decided to make it my, well, you know what. No, actually, I was just going to make a latch, some type of latch. And what happened was I started bending this thing. You can see where I'm going with this. This comes right off for good. Hey, hey, hey. Can you see it? I'm doing this totally wrong. Let's try it this way. There we go. So there's my design that I come up with. And it was all on the fly and off the cuff. How's that sound? Good. So I made this turn, of course, because I needed to get it on. I needed it to cling on. And then I made this bend here. And then I made this. Well, this was already in it, actually. I did not make this. I just snipped it off here. And this was going, all this was going to be bent, and then I was going to cut the excess off and just have a little latch that I could put on here easily. Oh, look at that. It's on there. And it just hangs on there. It doesn't ever want to come off. And then when I close this gate, see if I can do it while filming here. Switch hands again. When I close this gate, the hook actually works to hold the gate open a few degrees, maybe 5-10 degrees. But it also works to start this thing in there, because look, now it's, oh sorry, it slides through and then it wants to dangle down at that point. Now it'll just go right back to the hook if you leave it. So you have to do the final step, which is to trust me, I had no idea this was going to work out this way. Much of my life is this way. You have to do the final step in cranking that forward. Now it's in a locked position, more or less, by its own. And then look at this. Oh! Not budging. I don't need one on the other side. So look at a challenge. It's not a problem. It's a challenge. And then say, all right, what do I need to do to fix this challenge? And how can I make it out of raw materials just laying around right? Are you watching? All right. So there's always something to do, even when you're waiting for paint to cure and become a nice hard candy shell. They did include some extra decals, which I am applying. I'm not a total dick. I'm going to use some of them. I really don't like all the pandering to the companies involved. I figure if someone's at the flying field and they want to know which transmitter I have. They can just look over my shoulder. I don't need to have it plastered all over my airframe, you know what I'm saying? As far as the name of the plane, you guys should already know by the title of the playlist. But if you haven't realized this is part of a playlist, this is a Cessna 150. So that's why the C is missing now, and I'll be looking for a Z to match this. If I can't find that, I'll make it myself, obviously. I have a friend with a plotter. No problem. The E-Flite is fine. You know, they are the makers. So I'm going to go ahead and put those decals on the struts here. And then, again, that one. And then the only other decals I saved were the clear portions that I could retrieve from the sheet. That's one. There's a long one over here. These are awesome scissors, by the way. They're Fiskars. They're pretty badass. But yeah, doing a little decal work, and then tomorrow night, I believe, I'm going to break those wheel pants out again for another sanding and another coat of lacquer. And possibly we'll be putting some more Bondo on the airframe. Whoa, very bright. Also remember, when you're putting decals on, not to get your fingerprints stuck on the other side, like your friend Donnie did. You see me? There's my print. So, darn it. There are better ways and better people to show you how to put decals on. I'm just here to remind you to burnish your decals. Okay? Get the air out. Some people like to get the lead out. I like to get the air out. It's good for blonde people too. Which I am. Alright, so I can get the air out of my head. I can also get it out from between this decal and this other decal. Yes, this is HVAC tape, if you remember. It's not the printed kind, it's the plain foil kind. And
why you gotta be so difficult?
alright, so there we go. Burnish that baby. There. Now we got a pair of them. I think I'm happy with that for now. Also, as part of Customize Your Airplane Week, I'm just kidding. I just made that up. I'm going to go ahead and take these Robarts apart and find all the flaws in them. Like this flashing from the mold that no one bothered to clip all the way off. It kind of bugs me. Right? I mean, you see that? Now these are nice in that you just squeeze them this way to separate the wheel halves. And the wheel halves, I'm not super impressed. I do like these spacers that are built into the mold. I do like those. Those allow for a little bit better compressing with this back half. But come on, guys. Do you know where they find these screws? These are the cheapest zinc screws you can find on the market. The cheapest plastic zinc screws. They're cheaper than the original screws used in the original AM radio that I got back in the late 60s. Cheaper. Why? Oh, because it's 2021 and we don't care anymore. So I may be ending up replacing those plastic self-tappers with something a little nicer. Maybe cap screws with nylox. I don't know. But we're definitely going to do something better than plastic on these axles. That's just a shame. Also, I may end up doing white letters on here. I'm thinking the Goodyear is my best bet. I like Goodyear. But anyway, these need to be washed and trimmed and get ready for paint themselves. You feel me? Bright, bright lights. Now, if you know anything about making model cars, or sorry, putting together model cars, the first thing you do is you trim all the pieces of all that excess flashing. You see that flashing right there? Yeah. That is a pimple, which should have been, I mean, here's a little wisdom, Robart. If you're going to put these together, then you trim them. If I'm going to put these together, I will trim them. So just put them in the package, tied to their little tree, like their spacers were. Okay? Yeah. And then send them to me this way. Right? So that your engineers won't put these threads in. I will decide what kind of screws and threads, or if there will be threads. Right? So you don't have to make that decision for me. Don't dress this at all. Don't do anything. Just leave it on the tree where it was when it came out of the mold, and I'll get rid of all this flashing. Otherwise, if you're going to put all this together for me and send me these wheels in a fashion that you think I can just slap on the airplane, you got another thing coming. Look at all that flash you left on. Is that going to look good on my plane? I don't think so. Is it going to be functional? For sure it is. But, Mama told me to take care of my stuff. Okay? She didn't say, just make sure it stays functional. She said take care of it. Clean it. Make sure it looks good so that it will perform to its utmost capability. And this flashing is just... I know I'm super critical, and maybe, it's because you need somebody like me to be super critical of these companies because they're getting away with murder. In my book, if you're going to charge what they charged me for this type of product, I expect a little bit of handwork done. Okay? Not just clipping them off and slapping them together. If you're going to clip them off the tree, trim the flashing. Look at that. Just sad. Anyway, so I'm going to trim these, sand them, a little 500 maybe. I'm going to paint them. Probably chrome. And I might even redesign this wind-catching, drag coefficient multiplying beater blade of a wheel. I'm not sure airplane wheels ever looked like that. And if they did, Mama help us. This is just gonna slow the plane down. Maybe that's the brakes. Oh, there's the brakes. Okay, gotcha. Air brakes. Yeah. Now, some of you might be saying, well, he's getting all that orange peeling because he has no booth. But I actually do have a paint booth right here at work, so I'm going to bring the pants in for the final coats and do them in here. Some people collect matchbooks. Some people collect old lighters. Some people collect pets. Some people collect doorknobs, broomsticks. I collect tripods And not just any tripod. It has to be antique or vintage, and it also has to be quite interesting. And if it includes a screw, well, come on. This one's quite cool. Look at these legs. Wow, you got some legs on you. Huh? Those are pretty cool. Can you see that? Focus. Focus. So anyway, this combined with this thing here, which I made, because you know if you're gonna be a Renaissance man, you gotta make your own stuff. You don't go out and buy it. Where are you gonna find something like this? What even is this? I mean, anybody? Does anybody know what this is? Um. I don't know. It's quite cool, but it looks weird. Yeah, that's because I made it myself. Look closely. Look closely. Oh, it's got a... Okay, and then it's... Wait, what? What in the world is this, Donnie? Yeah, that's what most people ask. And you know what I tell them? I don't tell them anything. I'm not telling them. It's a cell phone mount. The cell phone slides in here. Boom, boom. And locks in, believe it or not. Boom, boom. And thank you, Sturgis, for providing a beautiful backdrop. And then this part, the clamp. Well, you can clamp it onto well, anything really, even right onto here, or maybe out onto here. No, where do you want to clamp it? Clamp it, Jed, clamp it. The cat always trying to upstage me. All right, anyway, check it out, man. This is just one section of leg down, and then we're looking at this this crank here, of course. Woo! So nice. Very lightweight stand, tripod, aluminum, of course. Then we come to this head. Now this is cork, of course. And then there's a captive. Let's see if we can get the screw head there. Can't you see it? Can't you see it, man? Alright, so there's the screw head. See it in there? It's captive. And then there's quite a bit of devilry going on right here. Oh yeah. Hey, pants. Cured. We'll get to those in a second. Look at this devilry right in here, huh? So, you got all this. Well, how do I get it up? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I'm calling for access. That's how you get it off. You gotta remove the circlip or the C-clip or the E-clip or whatever kind of clip it is. There's a big old clip on here, guys. Look at this. And girls. Huh? Isn't that interesting? That's from a bygone era when they did things, well, right. And they made them to last. So I don't have the proper pliers to remove this here C-clip, which would allow me to take this off and utilize the top of this shaft, which has been turned smaller, and would actually work with my attachment. Sorry. My attachment. Which, yeah, it does have a a very nice clamp that I molded it around, which works well. But it only works well with so many shapes. So then we have this tripod, which I picked up, of course, you know, Goodwill and garage sales. You can find tripods all day long. But the only reason I bought this one, because you can see there's no screw. So really the only reason I bought it is because it has a couple of different directions that you can mess with it, and it's got a nice head. It's not a fluid head, obviously, but it's nice enough. And I've been able to use this handle, believe it or not, to clamp this on. So I'll show you what I mean. Oh, there it is right there. I turned the handle specifically for this clamp right here. Focus. So I'll show you what that looks like. Yeah, so like that. So if you're a Renaissance man, you go ahead and make your own crap. And what I've made here is a cell phone mount, which has a clamp, which will clip on to something, and you can position it anywhere you want. Oh yeah. Plus, you can mount a camera over here. Have some fun. Alright guys, so it's been a few days again, and we're just looking at some glossy wheel pants. These have been done 2 base coats basically, and then a top wet coat. But you can still see imperfections pretty much everywhere. I'm really not concerned with this center seam. I know it's been joined together. A lot of you have been following along and been thinking, well, it almost looks like he's made that one piece now. How is he going to get it to separate? And the truth is, I'm not. They go on fairly easy as one piece, already screwed together. So I think I'm going to leave them. But they will come apart, and if I have to, I can always take some type of razor blade and try to finally cut that. It would be a job, but you can see how quickly my prints appear, and then I can wipe them away. This is very nice surface. There's not a lot wrong with this. There's a little bit of orange peeling because they've been outside when they were drying initially. But you know, I can't be obsessed over these. They're wheel pants, so you know, with the wheels in them, and when they're moving in the air, they're going to be slick and sleek like we need them. They don't even feel like plastic anymore, and they sound more like wood that's been hollowed out, especially with this foam in here. This side's just flat because of this cutout and these, but this side, which is nice and smooth, Caracas. But I digress. There are some other imperfections. I don't know if that's coming through. For a model airplane, it's not bad. There's a scar right there. I can fill these little imperfections and scars with a paintbrush by taking the lacquer spray and condensing it, or concentrating it, excuse me, into its own lid, and then dipping a paintbrush in and painting in and filling in the scars or imperfections. This dimple here isn't bothering me a bit. I don't see much else that's really bothering me. This stuff is really nice when it cures. Really nice. Almost like wood. This one, on the other hand, quite a bit I don't know if you can see it, but there's quite a bit of kind of like an orange peel where I didn't lay it down wet enough maybe, or it was outside at the wrong angle. This may have been the one that was out there enjoying dry time. Now the other side looks much better. I think I got a nice wetter coat on this side. And of course this is all going to be buffed and waxed, just like Daddy's car. Ah, there we go. I found some imperfections. I don't know if you can see it right here. I think it's the original line that I thought was a hair. It still may be. That's another one I could take a brush to detail it, fill it in with a brush, and then come back later with something. I hesitate to use even a 3000 grit. I would probably use something more along the lines of used, meaning spent, 3M Scotch pad, the green stuff, Scotch Brite pad. I'm really pleased with this side. Not a lot I want to do to this side. There's some marring here. That's okay. Marring is fine. That'll come out in buff and wax. But this side is a bit shady. I probably need to lay down a couple more out and back passes here. Boom, boom. Maybe cover this bottom edge again. These bottom edges didn't really get the attention that maybe an automotive or auto body buff would have given if this were a full scale. But they never do. These bottoms, and they see the most damage. I may end up putting a patch of like a Flex Seal or you know, some type of rugged something. I don't know. No, I should leave well enough alone. This front wheel pant, nose gear wheel pant, let's see how it looks. I still have my scar, my tattoo from this paint job. Just wearing it like a badge of honor, because the paint job came out pretty good, and this is still not the final paint. Okay, but we're building up coats and we're getting away from the plastic feel. Okay, there we go. So we got some little beep beep beep. And where's that bug? There's a bug landed right here. Now there's just like a dimple there. I wonder if he just got absorbed by the lacquer, but there's still right? If you're a perfectionist or someone who wants to see a really, okay, so here's and where this was sat on the slip sheeting. Slip sheeting is great. It does protect your pieces, but if they're put on a little too fresh, or maybe there's a little bit thicker paint on this edge, you're going to end up with this dull, matte looking bits. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm trying to get the, there you go, just little bits. Anyway, I'm quite pleased with those, and I'm quite pleased with this Goodwill find. I mean, look at these. Huh? Check it out. Oh man, just smooth, lightweight, aluminum. Take it to the park. Film yourself. Guys, invest in tripods. I have the camera on a tripod. I've got this tripod. I have other phones that have outlived their usefulness, but they're still cameras. And I plan on mounting them because not only your maiden flight, but also any other flights you do, you should consider as a film producer, if that's what you are. you should consider the 3-camera rule. Okay, you take 3 cameras out. One could be mounted to your hat, whatever. A lot of you guys have those GoPros on your head. That's cool, on your shoulder, whatever. But you need another camera that's operated by another person, and then maybe you need another camera that's operated by a second person, or a camera that's just fixed in a certain region. Let's say on your down leg and on your approach, you could have a camera that's fixed, or a camera you could control remotely. It's 2021, guys. We can do all this stuff. But you need tripods. You need these tripods. Okay? You understand? I know you do.